All right, what's going on, you guys? Brian here with another recap video. A real quick recap of what went down on tonight's episode, or on this week's episode of SmackDown. So let's just get right into it. I'm just going to run through everything. So we had a Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, cut a promo, which would be interrupted by Kevin Owens. Also, Happy New Year to everybody out there. Hopefully 2021 turns out to be a better year than 2020 was. But Roman Reigns and company, their promo would be interrupted by Kevin Owens, who would say he doesn't want Roman Reigns right now. He wants Jey Uso. That match would be made for later on in the night. A little bit later on in the show. We would see Big E, the new Intercontinental Champion, who won the title last week on the Christmas edition of SmackDown, defeating Sami Zayn. He would be in action, taking on Baron King Corbin. Big E would win the match via disqualification because Sami Zayn got involved. Sami was at ringside on commentary, and when Big E was going for the win on King Corbin, Sami Zayn ran into the ring and attacked. This would bring out Apollo Crews, who was one of the superstars in the Lumberjack match that Big E and Sami had last week for that prestigious IC title. He would come out to make the save. This would lead to a tag match. Big E and Apollo Crews taking on Sami Zayn and King Corbin, which saw Apollo Crews pick up the win for his team, defeating Sami Zayn. Then a little bit later on in the show, during an interview segment, Big E would announce that next week he's going to be doing an open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, and Apollo Crews accepted. So that is a huge title match happening next week on SmackDown. We had the Riot Squad in tag team action. They defeated Tamina and Natalya with a little bit of help from Billie Kay, who distracted Tamina. Billie Kay kind of played both sides of this matchup, and she wound up siding with the Riot Squad and trying to celebrate with them, but they wanted nothing to do with it. I don't know where they're going with that with Billie Kay and her character, but hopefully it ends pretty soon. So we had Bayley and Carmella defeating Bianca Belair and the SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks in tag team action when Carmella pinned Sasha with a little bit of help and distraction from Carmella's sommelier, Reginald. Then we had an in-ring segment where Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler would attack the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, and they injured, I believe it was Montez Ford with a steel chair. They went after his knee, wrapping it around the ring post, and then using a steel chair to hit it on the outside of the ring. Also during this segment, we saw the return, or not during this segment, but in a bit of a backstage segment, we saw the return of Sonya Deville, who had not been seen on WWE television since SummerSlam last year, where she lost to Mandy Rose in a loser leaves WWE matchup. And the commentators, Michael Cole and Corey Graves, made it known that she had been reinstated. Then Otis and Daniel Bryan defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in tag team action. And in the main event, Kevin Owens defeated Jey Uso with the stunner, then would go after Jey, and then would be attacked by Roman Reigns. This would lead to all three being at the top of where the LED boards are at, as far as like where the fans are at, or the virtual fans are at, and Roman would throw Kevin Owens off of there through a table that was sitting that was on the floor. So that is how SmackDown went off the air, with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso standing tall while Kevin Owens was laying on the ground. So overall, pretty good. I would say it was an okay episode of SmackDown. I didn't watch it live. I watched it after the fact. I thought it was okay. I mean, they're continuing the whole feud with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Probably will lead to something at the Royal Rumble. But it was okay. So with that being said, if you guys watched this week's episode of SmackDown, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. This has been my SmackDown recap for this week's episode. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.